You guys have seen my Lilith in Gemini transit video. You need to see it because that's the one that's going to talk about the general energy that we are dealing with right now. But what I want to do today is to talk about the individual planets that may be hit if you have planets in Gemini. Okay, so Lilith has entered into Gemini. It is now between 0 and 1 degree. And so it's a perfect time to drop this because we're right at the beginning. Okay. Okay. So let's just go through the first few personal planets if you're having any sort of transits like these. I also recommend to check my Lilith playlist, which I will link in this video, because even though it's more natal aspects in the playlist, it can give you more insight. So definitely check that out. Okay, let's start with the moon. So if you have the moon in Gemini, your moon in Gemini, and Lilith is going through Gemini during this transit, then you are experiencing a serious outcast feeling that might be coming through the family. And you may be looking for how you can feel more connected to your family or recreating your own sense of family, okay? So do not be surprised if you are feeling, even by the smallest of things, because with Gemini, we're always looking at short messages, short conversations. These could be short little triggers, short little sayings, things that people are saying that are in your family that might be triggering you, okay? And very connected to the mother figures in your family, or if you are embracing your own mothering, maternal, or matriarch role yourself. This will be a very big highlight, okay? Now, remember the many levels that you can experience with Lilith, which I've learned from Astro Esoteric Pro, but I do cover that in the Lilith video. So definitely check out the Lilith video, the generalized Lilith and Gemini transit video for the many layers, okay? But the biggest thing you have to understand that because it's your moon, it will be your personality. Expect that you will have people talking about your actual personality, okay? So there might be a way, an attitude, a way of being that is being challenged at this time. I mentioned in the general video how with Lilith and Gemini, a lot of chatter can occur, like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. And so you may get very caught up in the things that people are saying to you. But because this is the moon energy and Lilith is transferring over her energies onto the moon, combining her dark energy with your moon energy, well, this is the ultimate space of emotional outbursts. It's an ultimate space of experiencing your emotional spectrums. You are here to become a student of your own triggers and emotional spectrums during this transit. Be prepared to experience things that you have suppressed. Be prepared to want to feel like you need to express, Gemini, your darkest feelings, Lilith, okay? Lilith and the moon. Be prepared for also this overall sense of connection, as Gemini is the connecting energy. It connects people, it connects messages. So if you have the Lilith energy in Gemini going over your moon, you might be looking for those connections with the people who are like you, meaning like they might have an attitude, a swag, a way of being that resonates with you. You might really be looking for your classroom, right? The people who are trying to understand their darker sides too. Okay, this is such a great energy for expressing, for emoting, for things like acting, arts, but for specifically a need to heal yourself, right? Not necessarily need to entertain people, as the arts can be used in that modality as well, but a method in which you can start to take out the gunk, the things that don't have words, and start to put words to them through your artistic endeavors, okay? Now, let's talk about the sun. If Lilith is going to be going over your sun, then you'll be more likable than, even though you may not be all that likable. Meaning that even the things that people might, dislike about you, they might overlook it. They might be more in awe at the goddessness that you have. Because again, looking at the generalized video, I talk about how Lilith and the moon and its connection to Gemini in the third house evokes some of the most goddess energy, okay? Because of the classic ancient teachings of the third house being the house of the goddess, okay? So when we're looking at this from the sun, right? The sun is an ego, and it opens up and expresses that godliness or that goddessness that you certainly have, which means that all Geminis right now, especially in the first degrees of Gemini, have this opportunity to shine in a way and on a level that is cosmically written for you to do, okay? It's a chance for you to expose yourself, and everything that you do that appears to be unlikable will actually showcase your godliness. It's going to show your ability to create. And in many ways, you are the entertainers of the zodiac, specifically because of the media outlet that Gemini represents. If you are a Gemini sun or moon, you definitely should be taking advantage of social media at this time. The ability to put yourself out there, it's almost protected. This is because wherever the sun is over another planet, it typically takes authority. And while Lilith can be an energy that isn't always liked, the sun actually purifies Lilith. The sun shines all of its, its light into the murky waters of Lilith. So where you feel like you're an outcast, you're going to attract all the outcasts. Where you felt like a dark horse, you're going to attract all of the wild dark horses. Okay, where you felt like you were the sheep of the family, you are going to attract other, black sheeps of the family. You have such a distinct role right now as Lilith is in your sign, helping you to bring the message of those who could not speak for themselves. What a powerful place to be. Okay, so if you have the sun in Gemini, please take advantage of this energy. Now, if you have Venus in Gemini, people are going to be looking at you. You are going to be embodying the chaos of beauty when it comes to all things that are Gemini related. This may mean that you may be instilling a new trend of beauty that people have never seen before. You could be taking something that was considered mediocre or not very beautiful at all and making it into a piece of art. And you don't always have to look so far. It may be something that you just naturally have or naturally, express already. It's just that nobody really was given it its crown. And now you have the chance to put that crown on. It's such a great time to explore your sense of expression when it comes to beauty and fashion. And your relationships are going to be taking quite a twist and turn. They're going to provoke you into your sense of worthiness. Now, this can happen in many ways. It may be a feeling first unworthy in relationships, and then discovering that godliness and goddessness that you portray in your relationships. You may also be tackling and experiencing your sensuality in a way that is kind of light and dark. You be prepared to open yourself up to the different ways in which you can be seductive and be attractive. I definitely think that this is in the law of attraction energy. If you believe that you manifest with your words, Lilith over Venus could definitely show you how to be a law of attraction through the manifestation of what you believe. Okay, so, and what you say specifically. So this is a great time for script writing if you have any sort of Gemini energy, but especially with Venus, because Venus helps with the laws of attraction. Venus helps you to tap into that peacefulness, that happiness, that material lifestyle and material manifestation that you were looking to manifest. Hello. Okay. You want to watch out for people who might, feel jealous, people who might evoke jealousy out of you. Anytime you're dealing with feelings that have to do with somebody else's possessions, be prepared to know that Lilith is at work and she's indirectly showing you what it is that you think you don't deserve or you wish you had, but you're just not going for it. Okay, so working on script writing is going to be so powerful for you if you have Venus in Gemini. Now, if you have Mars in Gemini, this is going to be a highly sexual transit for you. It will be a time in which you may be challenged by your own sense of sexuality. You may be dealing with the feeling of not being man enough or not being woman enough in the sense of gender. You might be dealing with the expression of your sexuality and is it acceptable or not? Because wherever we deal with Lilith, we're dealing with feeling like an outcast. So even if somebody else could do it, for some reason you might be feeling like you can't, right? You can't be sexy with your words. You can't write this hot erotica. You can't show off your body like everybody else can, but you can, right? You have to see how it is that you are outcasting yourself, and you have to see and allow yourself to be free where you have not allowed yourself to be free before. The thing here is also about recognizing willpower. And your willpower might be provoked by darker feelings and darker energies at this time. Your willpower might be more provoked by people who appear to be enemies or adversaries. Now, we all know spiritually we're all the same. But in this material world, look, that mofo is an enemy. They're trying to take you down. And it might be the very thing that wakes you up and you're like, oh my gosh, if I don't fight for myself, who will? Okay, you will be having the power of the fighting words, and I do encourage you to use those words with care, okay? Because you may not recognize that your words will strike people down very strongly, and you want to watch out for who it is that you direct that to. But you can also uplift people, inspire people, teach people aggressively and passionately with your words during this transit. Okay, now if you have Saturn in Gemini, Lilith is going to be teaching you about what laws are and what freedoms are. It will be provoking for you and dealing with the cycles of where you break the laws and is it okay or not. Be prepared to deal with people who will embody both Saturn and Lilith. So certain people might embody Saturn in which they're your boss or they're, like a police officer. Saturn can rule over the government or government officials. These are people that are provoking for you the sense of authority, but it's all an illusion, as we all know. And that your true authority is residing within you. Your ability to know what it is that you allow yourself to do or not. Okay? So while you may be dealing with the external laws and rules and the censorship and the holding you down based off of these laws and rules, they're all just an external manifestation of what you believe you can or can't do on the inside, right? What is it that you have allowed yourself to do and what is it you haven't allowed yourself to do, right? If you start to walk in a space where you start doing things that you never allowed yourself to do, you might experience the law coming down on you. This is only because it's fresh. It's brand new energy. Gemini is brand new, fresh energy. And so you're not used to it. Your frequency may not be allowing you to do the things that you are now allowing you to do. You have to have peace and you have to have patience during this transit when you have Saturn and Gemini, because the manifestation is delayed. It is asking you to really hone in on your frequencies, right? But the only way to do that is through practice. Gemini is one of the signs that embodies repetition. You're going to have to learn how to face the fear of being held down, but doing it over and over again. Learning how to get up, back up over again, even though you may have felt like you were kicked down. It is a tough transit to get through, but because it's Saturn, and Saturn ain't never made nothing easy for nobody. But it is the key. It is a key planet that teaches us about persistence and discipline. So thank you guys so much. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'll continue with more of the planets if you want me to go more external. And stay tuned for more content on the channel.